Good morning, friends. Good morning. Good morning, friends. My name is Kirsten, and we're going to get started here in just a minute. Make sure that you have your mat ready to go. And actually, this is super important. All right, so today we are actually doing a flow that's called moon salutation. So I know you probably are already set up, so we're going to take a few seconds just to reset. If you will turn your mat just like mine so that it is horizontal instead of, so it's sideways. We're going to be a little sideways today. So if you'll take a second to do that and make sure that you have your props, and we are going to get started right away. So good morning and welcome. Again, my name is Kirsten, and we are going to practice for 45 minutes together today. And I really look forward to this time. Actually, I'm coming back at you for a second because Lisa, you're there in your PJs. I'm so glad. Yeah, that's what's great about this, right? We can do class in our PJs in the morning. Yeah, it's lovely. All right. Okay, so we are actually going to start in child's pose today. Again, you want to have your mat, if you're just joining me, have it horizontal. All right, come on down. And we are going to start with either the knees directly underneath you. If your back is feeling kind of funky this morning, you may want to do that. If your hips need a little love, widen your knees, keeping your big toes together. And you can stretch those arms out nice and long, or you could rotate your palms to face up for an external rotation of the shoulders, or you could find child's pose, bringing the arms back by your legs. Forehead maybe reaches the floor, maybe it doesn't, no worries. And maybe you decide here to give the body a little rock and roll. You feel like that feels good, feel free to do that. Or if you just want to find stillness. We are going to take a few breaths here, though. So when you are ready, begin to tune into first how your body is feeling this morning. And then finding your breath. And if your knees are directly underneath you, of course, you will be aware that there's a little constriction, a little extra constriction that you're maybe not used to, because we don't generally start in this position. But just tuning in to where the breath then needs to move. And you may notice that your breath is flowing a little more prevalently through the back side of the body, not through the belly. And in yoga, we generally breathe through the belly. So there's just a change here, and just be aware of it. But finding your own natural rhythm of breathing. And we'll stay here just a couple more breaths this morning. Now, from this position, we are going to begin to warm up a little through the spine. So we're going to walk the hands over to that right side. Press a little extra weight into the left hip. Breathe through the left side of the body. If things are all feeling okay here, maybe you place the left hand on top of the right. Walking the hands back through center and over to that left side. Pressing a little extra weight through the right hip, breathing through the right side of the body, maybe placing the right hand on top of the left. And then walking the hands back into center. And actually, let's come up onto all fours now. Lining your hands up underneath the shoulders and the knees underneath the hips. Let's move through a couple rounds of cat and cow together. So inhaling to find your cow pose, full breath in, tailbone up, chin up. As you exhale, round out through the spine, dome through the back. Again, inhaling to find your cow pose, full breath, and exhaling to find cat. Good. Now, one more just like that. And from this cat pose, your next cat pose, press back to an extended child's pose. Now, we're going to move through a little flow here that incorporates our child's pose. So on your inhale, on your next inhale, slide and scoop along the floor, coming right up into your cow pose. And then exhaling to find cat, press back to an extended child's pose. Let's do that again together. So inhaling here, scooping along the floor, inhaling up into your cow pose, exhaling to cat, and extended child's pose. Let's do one more. Inhaling, and exhaling, cat, extended child's pose. Good, and just a reminder, at any point during our practice, you are welcome to find this pose. It's a very lovely pose for a little break. So you have that option always. All right, let's return to all fours, and actually from all fours, let's walk the hands forward, and let's lower all the way down to our stomachs. Now, you'll have a couple of options here. You could slide your forearms forward and elbows, actually let's do this together. Elbows underneath the shoulders, forearms to the floor, pressing through the forearms and actually kind of drawing your hands back. Let's open up through the chest here. So heart shines forward. Perfect. And then let's lower down. Slide your hands back underneath the shoulders or bring them underneath the shoulders. And now let's ground the legs to the floor. So the legs should not come up off the floor. In fact, just plant them solidly to the floor. And on your inhale, peel the front of the body up, engage your back body, and float your hands. Exhale to lower down. Do that one more time. Inhale to peel the front of the body up, floating your hands. Draw your shoulders down and elbows tucked in tight, and then lower down. Good. Now, one more time with this back bend, and you can incorporate a little bit more here. So now we'll keep the hands to the floor and use the hands as leverage to open up even a little bit more. But watch the shoulders. They shouldn't be up by the ears. Shoulders should be down, elbows tucked into the side body. Your hips are to the floor still. Legs are ground to the floor. And then let's flow back down. Now, those back bends are always an option on the flow that we'll have a little bit later. So just a reminder, or just a kind of a tip there. Now, on your next inhale, we're going to actually keep your knees to the floor for this. We're going to press up to a modified plank pose, curl your toes under, and let's find down dog. So our first down dog for the day might feel a little crunchy. I don't know if that's a really good word here, but as you walk the dog, you may notice that there's some tightness through the calves. This down dog is actually a stretch for the whole back side of the body. And you may feel it mostly in your calves, or maybe you're feeling that it's really intense through the shoulders in terms of a stretch or even strengthening here. That's a great pose. All right, now from your down dog, let's shift our weight. Let's find plank. So in your plank pose, your hands should be underneath your shoulders. You're strong through the legs. You're strong through the core. Everything is working here. It might feel like it's just the arms that are working, but think here about pressing through the balls of the feet, pressing through the heels, so the legs are engaged as well as the arms. Take that full breath in, and as you exhale, send the hips up and back, find your down dog. Good. One more time, let's shift our weight. Let's find plank. Take that full breath. And on your exhale, shift back to down dog. Perfect. Now, let's drop the knees to the floor, and we'll press back to an extended child's pose for just a breath here. So we are going to now practice a little bit more, dolphin pose, which is a little bit more intense for the shoulders. And so certainly finding which place you need to stop for this next part. Coming out onto your forearms. And actually I'm going to have you extend your forearms forward so that the palms are to the mat and your elbows are underneath the shoulders. And then sending the feet back so that you're maybe in an elbow plank, but you could drop your knees and be in a modified version of this elbow plank. And maybe this is where you stay. Now, if you are in your plank, this elbow plank, maybe you begin to walk your feet a little closer in toward your arms. Keep pressing through the forearms. And again, this is a little more intense for the shoulders. And so maybe you just stay in that elbow plank with the legs not where they are here in my pose. This is dolphin. If you want to add a little bit more here, we're going to alternate lifting the right and the left legs up. So the right leg will come up into the air and then set it back down. The left leg comes up and set it back down. The right leg comes up and set it back down. The left leg comes up and set it 4 more. Right leg and down. Left leg comes up and set it down. Last 2. And set it down, and last one left. Set it down, walk the feet back out. You're in your elbow plank. Oh, drop your knees, press back, extend to child's pose, or child's pose might feel better here. Bringing those arms back by the legs and just relaxing through the shoulders. Do you guys feel that? Been a while since I've done that one. All right, now let's return to all fours. Curl your toes under. Let's walk our hands and our feet together to find a standing forward bend. So in this standing forward bend, just relaxing the upper body forward. If you have props here for a little extra support, or if you don't have props and you feel like you need them, go grab them, please. Bringing your weight a little more forward into the balls of the feet, staying light on the heels. Maybe you cradle your elbows and gently sway from side to side. Maybe you gently grab to the back of the legs and draw the nose a little closer toward the knees. One more option would be to clasp your hands behind your back and lift your hands up off your back. Maybe they come forward toward the wall that's in front of you. All right, now from here, letting the arms hang loose if they're not there already, shaking your head yes and no a couple of times. Let's begin a slow roll up. Maybe placing your hands to the thighs for this extra support, or just letting those arms hang loose. But coming all the way up to stand. Good. Very good. All right. So shaking your legs out here. We are going to start off with this moon salutation. So hopefully I will not mess you up from side to side. I know that I'm very worried about that these days, and particularly on this one. So again, if you did not turn your mat this horizontal way, please join me with the mat this way. And we are going to meet on the left end of your mat. So if you will join me there, you will have the space out to that right side to move. And hopefully, again, we're on the same page with that. With your feet about hip bone width apart, let's inhale the arms up here. And as you exhale, you'll sway over to your right side. Good. Inhale to come back up to center and exhale to your left. One more time each way. Inhale, center, and exhale to the side. Good. Inhale, center, and exhale to switch. Inhale to center and exhale to step wide. So you're stepping pretty wide with the feet. Now we're going to turn the toes out toward the corners of our mat or to the corners of your room. The arms are extended nice and long. So this is called a 5-star pose. And you could even angle your arms up a little bit here, but whatever works. And then we're going to drop down. Now, as you drop down, there are a few things to keep in mind. Notice here whether or not your knees dropped in and the weight came to the inside edges of the feet. Try not to do that. In fact, really try and open up so wide that so that your knees are facing the same direction as your toes. They're actually in line. And you've got this nice straight line from the knees down to the ankle. Good. And then just checking in here, strong legs, strong arms, and palms can face me, palms can face you. We're going to inhale and come back up to 5 stars. So inhaling, lengthening long, exhaling to drop back down to your 5-star pose. Good. 2 more just like that. Inhale to lengthen up and exhale, drop down. Good. One more time. Inhale, lift, lengthen, and exhale to drop down. Perfect. Now, placing your hands to your thighs, we're going to open up through the shoulders a little bit here. So it doesn't matter which side you start with, just drop one shoulder in. You're using your hands as leverage to really pressing into the legs and dropping that shoulder in. So you may be feeling a little through the inner thigh, a little extra here. Inhale to come center and exhale to drop the opposite shoulder in. Good. One more time each way. Inhale, center, and exhale to drop. And last time here, inhale, center, exhale. Good. Inhale to come center, and let's bring those arms back up and extend back up to 5-star. So we're going to practice a little balance already here today. So I'm actually going to have you step your feet a little closer in. And if you'll turn your right toes to face the right side of your mat. Good. We are going to keep your body facing me. And extend your arms out. They can be out to the side, whatever's helpful. You may want to drop or bring those toes, the left toes to the mat, and then just try and lift that left leg up. Again, our tendency is to turn, but let's try to stay open here. This is working the side body. And it's something that we don't practice all that often from this particular position. All right, so gently coming back down, maybe dropping back down a little bit and then lifting up. Try and balance here. Finding your spot that you can focus on, extending the arms if they're helpful. Good, one more time. Gently dropping down, getting a little leverage here, and then try and lift off. That extra lift off, again, it's requiring a little bit more than going a little bit more delicately. So if you do need to go delicately, obviously that's what we're doing here. There's nothing to be forced in yoga. That's what's beautiful about it. Perfect. All right, now we're going to drop that foot back down. So your left foot now, try and bring it so that it's parallel toward the left end of your mat. Your right toes are facing the right side of your mat, and your arms are extended nice and long. Yes, we are moving into triangle pose. So let's do this kind of slowly. Take a full breath in. As you exhale, reach toward that right side. Inhale to come back up to center, and exhale to reach and extend. Good. One more time. Inhale up, and exhale to reach. Good, and this time we'll fold into triangle. So again, a little bit more about the side of the body here. In fact, think here about keeping both sides of your body equal distance, equal length, because the tendency here is to drop in and really sink into that bottom side. So stay nice and long. That top arm, you may want to extend it over by the ear. You may want to bring it back behind your back and open up through the shoulder. Good, regardless of where you are, let's stay just a couple more breaths, finding you could just do a little teeny tweak, and that might be just what you need in this pose. So feel free to make some changes. Perfect. All right, now, this top arm, we are going to fold it down, and we'll pivot onto our back toes. In fact, place your hands down around your front foot now. And you may need to shimmy that front foot back or the front foot forward, or back foot back. You'll be in your lunge, drop your back knee to the floor and relax your back foot. Good, so we've got this diagonal line, and it might be here that you stay. It might be your hands to your thighs, that feels good. It might be the arms extended. It may be that you want to do some cool, funky things with your arms. All right, maybe not so funky, but you may decide you need a little bit more opening through the shoulders. You maybe decide, nope, I really need to focus in on the hips, so you may want to stay with the hands to the thighs. So regardless of where you are, just finding what you need here. Feels really, really good. All right, hands down around that front foot. Let's begin to shift our weight back, and we'll find our half splits. This can be really intense on the hamstring, that front hamstring, so make sure you're using your props if you need that extra length. So right here, you could bend your knee a little extra if that is something that may be helpful or will be helpful if you're tight through the hamstrings. But lengthen out. Don't worry about how close you are to your leg. Just lengthen out over that front leg. Hold one more breath here. All right, now this next thing, before you get started with it, just watch for a second. So we're going to shift our weight forward, and you can keep the fingertips to the floor for this, or you could send that back leg up into the air and find your balance here with the hips facing down. All right, so you are in your half splits, and you could, again, keep the fingertips to the floor first and extend that back leg up in the air, or you could pop up and go right into your balance pose. So either option, and just to, something that you'll see on the other side, obviously. So finding where you need to be. Variation of Warrior 3 or Warrior 3. Perfect. Now we are going to bring the top leg, the leg that's extended, back to the mat. So you'll be in your lunge again, and then step your front foot back to join your back foot, and you will be in your down dog. Now from here, together, let's shift our weight. Let's find plank. Take that full breath in. As you exhale, shift back, find down dog. We're going to do a little bit more of this together today. Inhale to find your plank pose. And you can always modify. And from your plank this time, shift forward a little extra. Keep your elbows locked into the side of the body and lower down just maybe an inch or two. And then press back up and find your down dog. One more time, let's shift our weight. Let's find plank. Shift forward a little bit more. You can always drop your knees. Lower down just a teeny bit. Keep those elbows locked in. Press back up, find your plank or modified plank, and then press back, extend, or down dog. All right, you guys. Now, your leg that is furthest away from me. Inhale that leg up, and exhale to bring the knee in and step the foot through. It's that same leg that we sent back earlier. We're going to do a quarter pivot to face the front of face me. So come on up and face me. That quarter pivot will bring you into a side lunge. And a couple of things about this side lunge is that you still want that knee and ankle aligned. I mean, that's just super important. I know I drill it into you, blah, 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 every week, but it is very, very important to keep your joints lined up. Now, that opposite leg, you maybe want to lift the toes up off your mat. If you decide, oh, this is really hard on my hip, I don't want to go that low, you could bring the forearm to the thigh. This foot should stay connected with your mat, though. The foot that has all of that pressure. Good. Now let's shift and move all the way over to that other side. Same thing here. Check for that alignment. Good. And you can stay with the forearm to the thigh. You could bring your hands to the floor. You could bring your hands into a prayer position here. You could lift those opposite toes up. Good. Now let's do a quarter pivot to face the opposite side of our mats. Good. And then drop your back knee to the floor. Relax your back foot. All right, here we are. Inhaling the arms up if that feels good. Opening up through the chest if that feels good. You've got that beautiful diagonal lunge diagonal line from your hip down to your back knee. So stretching through that hip flexor and then stretching any way through the shoulders that feels good. Good. Now let's bring our hands down around our front foot. Begin to shift your weight back and find your half splits. Lengthening out over this front leg. Keep sending that front hip back. It will want to come forward of the leg that's straight. All right, so now we are moving into Warrior 3. Maybe it's the variation of Warrior 3, or maybe you go for it. You can decide. So curling your back toes under, maybe you lift that leg up and go right into Warrior 3. Maybe the fingertips stay to the floor and you lift that back leg up. Good. Now, very gently, we're going to return to a lunge. Your front foot, remember which foot this is, we're going to step it back and find down dog. All right, together, let's shift our weight. Let's find plank or modified plank. Shift forward a little bit more, and this time, elbows locked into the side of the body. Lower yourself down and inhale up to your back bend. You have Sphinx pose, Cobra, those things that we practiced at the beginning of class, or up dog. You can practice that here, any of those back bends. Just draw the shoulders down, chest comes forward. And then choosing either to go right to down dog or lowering down here, pressing up to your plank pose, and then finding down dog. We won't have a lot of opportunities to practice that particular flow today, but from this point on, it will be an option. All right, your leg that is furthest away from me, inhale that leg up. Exhale to bring the knee in and step the foot through. That is that same foot that we sent back just a few seconds ago. We're going to slide the back foot in so that you have maybe 2.5 to 3 feet between your heels and your foot is on its side. We're going to move through this last part of moon salutation. By the way, this is my version of moon salutation, so there's a lot of extra in there. All right. You're going to take your, hopefully it's your left hand that is, so it's the same side. Your front foot it has that same side hand on it, and then you'll inhale up to a triangle. Coming all the way up, find 5-star. Drop down, goddess pose. I don't think I told you what this pose is the last time. Inhale to come back up to 5-star. We're stepping over to that right side. So stepping over to the right side of your mat. Inhaling the arms up, exhale, flow to that right side. Inhale to come center, exhale, flow left. And one more time, inhale, center, exhale to flow. It's like you're flowing in the wind. Inhale, center, exhale. Perfect. Inhale, center, exhale, hands to your heart. All right, so that was one round of moon salutation. We are going to do another round to get back to the opposite side of our mat. So we're going to work back to that opposite side. And this time around, the flow becomes a little bit more intense, not crazy. I'm not about crazy. I'm about just helping you become a little bit more flexible and movable, right? So we can move through life. That's my philosophy, my theory for today, or whatever that was. Okay, so when you are ready, just sliding those feet back up, you should already be in position to inhale the arms up. And this time we're going to exhale over to that left side first. Inhale, center, and exhale to the right. Again, it's like you are just flowing in the wind, just nice and easy. One more time going in each direction. Feels really nice, nothing forced. Inhale to come back up to center, exhale, step wide, 5-star. Good, exhale or inhale and then exhale to drop down to your goddess. We are going to flow a couple more times through this. Inhale to lengthen back out. Exhale to drop down. Good, watch those knees. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to lower. Good, stay strong, arms and legs. One more time, inhale. And exhale to drop down. Good, now we have the side balance that we're going to do going to the opposite side. So you may want to slide that your right foot in just a little bit and angle your left toes so that they're facing a little bit more toward that left side. All right, when you are ready, we're going to lift off that right foot. Keep the arms wherever they are helpful here, but try and maintain this position of facing knee so the body stays open. Very nice. Gently coming back to your mat, maybe dropping down a little bit here and then adding that leverage to lift off and hold. Just try and stick your landing. Of course, if it's not happening today, don't get too wrapped up in it. That's generally, our mind just takes off. Quiet your mind. All right, one more time here. Drop down, press off and lift. Energize that leg that's extended. Stay strong here, arms again, wherever they help. Perfect. Good. Now, gently dropping back down, turning that right foot, to the face so that it's parallel, that end of your mat, and then your left toes are facing out toward this side. Arms are extended nice and long. Yep, we're moving to triangle. So you have a pretty good distance between your feet, and you may want to check in that front heel, it intersects with the arch to the heel of that back foot. All right, take that full breath. Exhale to reach and lengthen. Inhale to straighten back up. Exhale to reach. Good. One more time. Inhale, come back center, and exhale to reach. And this time, let's fold. Finding your triangle. Let's hang out here for a few breaths. This should feel super, super good. My beautiful English this morning. All right, so right here, maybe the arm's extended by your ear. Maybe the arm is behind your back. Really try and tuck your bottom under and press the hips forward so you stay open. Again, we have the tendency to really sink in. I think there's this thought that we have to be over a certain amount, but no. Finding your expression of this pose and knowing that yoga is practice. It's not perfection. And now this top arm, we're going to close it up. So rotating the body to face the leg and then pivoting onto your back toes. And let's inhale to come up to find our crescent lunge. Now, that back leg, really energize that back leg and check in with this front knee. Your knee and your ankle should be lined up. We are going to do a little bit more with our warrior three. So we practiced that earlier and know that you have the option, of course, just to keep it easy. So you find where you need to be. All right. So finding your spot that you can focus on, maybe sliding that back foot in a little bit, finding the position of your arms. Maybe they're extended, maybe they're out to the side. Lifting off that back leg, really energize that back foot. Now we're going to move a couple of times here. We are actually adding this dynamic movement just to challenge it a little bit more. Gently dropping back down, find your crescent lunge or variation of it, and lift back off again. Energize that back leg. One more time, gently touching down and lift off. Now we are moving from here, keeping the core nice and strong. Bring that back knee in. So now you're standing upright. Extend the leg. Bring the knee in, or bring the foot in, and extend the leg back. So we have two more just like that. Let's move with the breath. Inhaling to bring the knee in. Exhaling to extend the leg. Knee in. And extend the leg back. Good, we have one more like that. Knee in. And extend. Knee in. Extend back. Good. Now, you're back in your warrior three. Gently touch back down to find crescent lunge. Bring your hands to your heart. Yep, we're almost done on this side. Hands to your heart. Outside of your elbow to the outside part of the knee. So you're rotating towards your bent knee. And you're using your elbow as leverage to twist. Now, if you decide, nope, I am done balancing for today, you can bring that hand down for a little extra support. Again, you're twisting toward your bent knee. Hold on with me, one more breath. Perfect. Hands down around your front foot. Step that back foot back to join your back foot. Find your down dog. Stay right here or optional flow. And that optional flow is plank, up dog, down dog. Completely optional. In fact, if you're not feeling really feeling like it is helpful for your shoulders to do that, you may just decide to go to plank and go right to down dog. So again, be mindful there. All right, we're meeting in down dog. You know that leg that is probably feeling like, yeah, that leg has really worked. That's the leg we're going to send back up into the air. So it's a leg that's furthest from me. Bring your knee in and step the foot through your back in your lunge. Do a quarter pivot to face me. We've been here before, and we're going to actually do this a little differently this time. So just check in. Make sure your knee and your ankle are lined up, and we're shifting right to that other side. We're going to move like this a few more times, and you can move at your pace. It should feel really good on those hips, especially the inner thighs. So going at your pace. Again, just checking in. When you bring your weight over to that side, the sole of the foot stays connected to your mat. Your knee and your ankle stay lined up. Finding your movement, finding your flow. Oh, and my hips are cracking. All right, Now, once you are over to that opposite side, stay there, and let's do a quarter pivot. Now you are facing that opposite side of the room, and let's inhale up, crescent lunge. Yep, we've got that same flow on this side. Yay! Are you guys ready? You may want to shimmy that back foot in just a little bit here and prepare yourself for some balance work. So finding your spot that you can focus on. Core is nice and strong here. Arms can be wherever they're helpful. Lift off that back leg when you're ready. And I'm going to run into the door. So right here, hips facing straight down. Gently touch back down. Take a full breath in here. As you exhale, lift off. Energize that back leg. One more time here, gently touching back down. Take a full breath. Exhale to lift. Good. Now, from here, bring your knee in. Extend your leg forward. Bring your knee in. Extend your leg back. Moving with the breath. Inhaling to bring the knee in. And exhale. Knee in. Extend the leg back. One more time, you guys. Inhale to bring the knee in. Exhale to extend. And last time, knee in. Extend the leg back. We are gently touching down. So gently touch back down. And let's find this twist. You're twisting toward your bent knee with either the elbow to the opposite side of the knee or hand to the floor. But again, twisting toward your bent knee. Or if you are up with your hands in prayer, that prayer twist, crescent twist, core stay strong. Keep breathing, keep breathing. One more breath here. Good. Hands frame your front foot. Step that front foot back to join your back foot. Find your down dog. Stay here or optional flow. And actually, this will be the last one. We're meeting back in down dog. All right, again, that leg that feels like you just worked it. Yep, that's the leg that's going back up into the air. And we'll step that foot through. Now slide your back foot in and turn it on its side. This last part, we're going to go quickly. So placing hopefully it's your left hand your right hand on your right foot, inhaling the left arm up. Good, and then we are finding 5-star, dropping down to goddess, inhaling back up to 5-star, exhaling to step over to the left side of your mat, inhaling the arms up, exhale to your left, to your left, inhale center, exhale to your right, one more time each way, inhale center, and exhale to switch. You're flowing in the wind. Inhale, center, and exhale. Inhale, center. Exhale your hands to your heart. Nicely done. All right. Moon salutation. Done, done, done. Here is what we are going to do next to open up through the hips. It's something different. And so make your way to the middle of your mat and just come on down. So it's called frog pose, and hopefully you're in a position here. You can always grab, roll up the sides of your mat here for a little extra support. Let me show you where we're going. So you'll want to keep your knees on your mat, but your hands can come off your mat. You're in a figure or a tabletop position with your knees underneath your hips and your hands underneath the shoulders. And then we're going to begin to walk the knees out toward the sides of the mat, but they stay lined up at the hips. So once again, joints are lined up. Where it may be a little bit tender is on the inside part of the knees. And if that's the case and you need a little extra padding, feel free to, again, roll up your mat or do a little changing. So relax your feet. This is, again, hopefully, I don't know if this looks like a frog. Some of these poses in yoga, sometimes they don't look kind of like they're supposed to. So your knees are out directly from your hips, and then your ankles are down directly from your knees. All right, so all that's going on. How are you doing? This is a little intense, right? So if it is too intense, I will find you something else, and I will do that in just a second. If you are here and things are feeling all right, then shift your weight back toward the wall behind you. So press your bottom back just slightly toward the wall behind you. If you're saying, she's crazy this morning, what's going on? Then maybe a different pose would be better. And one of the things that might be helpful is just placing the soles of the feet together and letting the knees fall out to the side here in a bound angle pose. So you do have that option as well. It's probably not going to be as intense, right? Because we are using gravity in that frog pose to assist with the stretch in a different way. I mean, we are used to that bound angle is kind of one that we are maybe a little more used to. Hold on right here. So we aren't doing pigeon pose today. And I'll tell you from some of the classes that I teach, I have had people walk out behind me and say, why didn't we do pigeon today? So I hope that you're not disappointed that we didn't do pigeon. That can be something maybe you do on your own this week. One more breath. Very nice. Good. Walk yourself back up. Walk your knees back in toward each other slowly. Good. All right, let's do one more thing. We're going to go a little bit beyond time. I know that's no surprise to you all. We'll do one more thing here. So your knees are directly underneath your hip bones. We're actually going to send now that right leg out to the side. So left knee underneath that left hip bone, arms extended nice and long. We'll do a gate pose here. So bringing your right hand to your right leg, not on the knee joint though, and then extending that left arm up and over. Inhale to come back up to center. And now you're going to set your left hand down to your mat and have it be right underneath the shoulder. This is a modified side plank. We did a little extra with side strengthening, a little bit more here if you want it. So maybe that knee stays where it is. This is a modified side plank. Maybe you extend that leg down and maybe you stack your feet. Maybe you keep one foot in front of the other. Again, making sure the shoulders are stacked. Good. And that top arm, you can play with that. In fact, just making some movements, some little movements here as we hold, it might take your mind off things. Keep pressing your hips up into the air, that lower side oblique. Ooh, hopefully that you can feel that working. Good. Now, if that bottom knee is up, dropping it back down underneath the hip, inhaling, come back up to center. And let's bring the opposite knee in. One more time to the opposite direction, of course. So extending that leg out. And then let's find this gate pose. So again, you can place your hand to your leg and use it as support, but not directly on that knee joint. Inhale to come back to center and exhale. Let's set that right hand down. Stay here for a modified version of side plank, or send that bottom leg out to find your side plank, a full-on version. You decide here where you want to be. Are you shaking? I'm shaking. Keep pressing those hips up. Keep breathing. You can even add a little movement here. It will take your mind off things. Hold on one more breath for me. Or for you. It's really for you. Good. And then if you had that top or that bottom leg, if you sent it out, bring it back in underneath the hip. Bring the opposite knee in, and let's find child's pose. Yes. Good. And then because we were on the wrists, if you want to roll through those wrists, that might feel good here. And then flipping on over, come to your back. And we'll move into an inversion first. So inversions can take many, many different forms. One of the easiest inversions is just to extend the arms and the legs in the air. And sometimes that is just enough. It's a great opportunity for the body to reset. But of course, you have the option here to bring the soles of the feet close into the bottom. Arms are alongside you, palms down, press the hips up into the air. You can find your bridge pose. And another one that's pretty popular is Happy Baby, of course. So any of those inversions or anything else that you want to practice, of course, is fair game. This is your practice. And regardless if you're in your pajamas or whatever, you are at home, you can do whatever you want, practice whatever you want, and you really can do that. When in my class for inversions, I say whatever goes. Whatever you want to practice. All right, one more breath. Bringing your knees into your chest, wrapping your arms around your legs, hugging your knees in nice and tight. And we are going to twist, extending your arms out to the side in the shape of a T. You may want to shift your hips a little toward the right edge of your mat first, and then gently drop your knees to the left. Now, we stacked our legs today, but you know you have the option to cross your legs. You could extend this right leg. You could extend it straight. And it's straight out to the side then. That gets a little more into that IT band, a little more for the hip, so that might feel good. There are ways to make this twist a little bit more intense if that's what you're looking for. And hold on right here. One more breath. Perfect. Bring your knees back to center. And let's switch to the other side. So you may want to shift your hips a little toward the left edge of your mat now and gently drop your knees to the right side. So once again here, maybe the knees stay stacked. Maybe you decided to cross your legs. Maybe you want to send that top leg straight out. Again, that adds a little bit more for the hip. It also is a little more intense on the back. So certainly finding that balance where you need to be. Maybe you're turning to look to your left. Bring bent knees back into center. Good, and then hugging those knees in one last time. Maybe Happy Baby pose here. And then when you are ready to begin to make your way to your final pose, feel free to start making your way there. So, extending the legs down toward the bottom corners of your mat is an option. Extending your arms wide or even just slightly away from your body with the palms facing up is an option. Hands to your belly. You could find that reclined bound angle if you need a little more for the hips here. Good. Something we don't do a lot of just in life in general is an internal rotation of the hips. So you could walk your feet mat width apart and drop your knees in toward each other. All of those options are available. So feel free to stay on your back here, and I'm going to find seated just so that I can talk to you a little easier. And I won't talk very much here. I just want to set you up. So one of the things that happens frequently, and it's all right, is that the mind gets really busy. And this is the opportunity to let go of that busyness. We just don't take the time to do this during the day all that often. Maybe you do take the time to meditate on your own. But I think our lives are such generally that we've got a lot going on. And maybe it's not the busyness of life, doing and going. It's just things that creep into our mind. Maybe it's anxiety. Maybe it's just stress. This is an opportunity to let that all go. So finding that anchor that you can focus on, and generally the breath is one of the most common anchors that we use. But even finding a word that you can cling onto here. Peace, calm. Find that one thing. And let yourself be taken away. We'll stay here a few more breaths. Bring some gentle movements to your fingers and your toes. Roll through the wrists, roll through the ankles, maybe stretch nice and long here. And then you have options to move to seated. You can rock and roll yourself up. Some people prefer that direct flight, or you could roll to your side and press yourself up to seated. Slowly make your way there. And let's take one more big deep breath in together. Inhaling the arms up. As you exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Thank you so much for practicing with me this morning. Namaste, my friends. Have a great weekend.